So, let's get right into it. What really makes a gift meaningful? Is it the price tag, the efforts, or is there something else going on, something deeper? Today, we're going to unpack this incredible story about a gift, a really surprising response, and a teaching on giving that, well, it pretty much changes everything.
Okay, so the story kicks off with this deeply personal offering. We have Maha Prajapati Gautami, who wasn't just the Buddha's aunt, but also the woman who raised him, approaching him. She has literally spun the thread and woven these robes with her own hands, just for him. You can just feel the incredible care and dedication in that act, right? And then, the twist. You'd expect him to be moved to accept it immediately, but his response is something nobody saw coming. He doesn't take it for himself. Instead, he says, give it to the community. Talk about a surprise. You have to wonder, why would he turn away such a personal, meaningful gesture like that? And get this, she doesn't just offer it once. She asks again, and again he tells her to give it to the community. The third time really drives the point home. This isn't just some casual suggestion, you know. This is a deliberate, powerful teaching. And it leaves us all hanging on that one big question. Why?
This brings us to the very first crucial idea here. What the Buddha did, it wasn't a rejection of his foster mother's love at all. It was actually an elevation of her act. He was showing her a way to make her gift not just meaningful, but infinitely more powerful.
And the key to understanding this is one word: Sangha. Now, this often gets translated as just monks and nuns, but the real meaning is so much bigger. Think of it as the community, the collective. It's any network of people who are all dedicated to growth and understanding. So by giving to the Sangha, her gift wasn't just for one person. It was supporting an entire ecosystem of progress.
But hold on, the story isn't over. One of the Buddha's main disciples, Ananda, he steps in, and he's just as confused and concerned as we are, which is great because his next move pushes this whole conversation to an even deeper level. We're about to get into the real nature of gratitude and value.
So Ananda basically says what's on everyone's mind. He's like, but sir, this is the woman who raised you. She took you in and nursed you when your own mother died. He's reminding the Buddha of this huge personal debt of gratitude. I mean, surely accepting her gift is the absolute least he could do, right?
The Buddha's answer here is brilliant. He draws this line in the sand between two totally different kinds of gifts. On one side, you've got material things, robes, food, a place to stay, all necessary stuff for sure, but temporary. On the other side, you have the gift of liberation, the guidance that leads someone to genuine freedom from confusion and suffering.
And this is the absolute crux of it. The guidance Mahapajapati had already received from him, the teachings that put her on a path to real clarity and integrity, that was a gift so huge, so valuable, that no material thing could ever come close to repaying it. Not even 1,000 robes woven by hand. He had already given her something far, far greater.
Okay, so now the teaching kind of zooms out from this personal story and becomes this fascinating, systematic breakdown of giving. The Buddha lays out this whole spectrum, showing that the positive impact of a gift, well, it's not always the same. Turns out, it really depends on who's receiving it. He starts at a pretty surprising place, giving a gift to an animal. He says that's a worthy act, and he gives it a value of 100. Let's just think of that as our baseline, you know? Rung number 1 on the ladder of impact.
And then, boom, the scale takes this gigantic leap. A gift to just an ordinary person who lives with integrity, that's valued at 100,000 times more than a gift to an animal. That huge jump shows this direct link between how virtuous the receiver is and how much impact the gift has.
And from there, we hit the peak, at least when it comes to giving to an individual. The value of a gift to someone who's on the irreversible path to clarity, well, it's described as incalculable, immeasurable. It is literally off the charts. But you know what's wild? That's still not the end of the story.
This is the line that pivots the entire teaching. After building up the immeasurable value of giving to this highly developed person, the Buddha just states it flat out. Even that doesn't compare to a gift given to the Sangha, the community. Supporting the whole system is always, always the most powerful act.
So if it's not just about the person who receives the gift, what else is going on? This is where the whole analysis gets even more interesting, more nuanced. The Buddha introduces this new framework, the 4 kinds of purity, and it all depends on the ethical state of both the giver and the receiver.
This simple little grid lays out all 4 possibilities. It's pretty clear, right? The actual purity, the real impact of a gift, depends on the integrity of both the person giving and the person receiving. So let's just quickly run through what each of these means.
First up, what happens when a person of integrity gives something to someone who, well, isn't? In that case, the teaching says the offering is purified by the giver. The good intention, the solid ethical ground of the person giving the gift, that's what makes it a worthy act.
Okay, now let's flip it. What if someone who lacks integrity gives a gift to a person who has tons of it? Here, the gift is purified by the receiver. The incredible character of the person receiving the gift actually has the power to transform that offering into something really meaningful.
And this, of course, is the dream scenario. When a person of integrity gives to another person of integrity, that offering is just exceptionally pure. It's purified from both sides, creating the most powerful, most fruitful exchange you can imagine.
And last, you have the least impactful situation. When someone without integrity gives to someone else who also lacks it, the offering is purified by neither. There's just no ethical foundation there on either side to really elevate the act. So after all of that analysis, we've talked about the community, the recipient, the virtue of both people. What's the one thing we absolutely need to take away from this? Well, the final verses of this teaching give us this incredibly empowering answer about where the real power of giving actually comes from.
And there it is. The ultimate power, the ultimate responsibility is with you, the giver. If you act with integrity, if your mind is clear, and if you're giving something you've earned honestly, your act is what purifies the gift. Your intention is the engine that drives the whole thing.
This brings us to the absolute summit. The highest form of a material gift is one that flows from a person who is free from greed, from anger, from confusion, to another person who is also free. It's an exchange that's just rooted in total clarity and goodwill.
And that leaves us with this final question to really think about. This ancient analysis, it's not just some old theory. It's a practical guide for us, right now. It asks us to look at our own generosity, whether it's big or small, and really ask ourselves, what is my intention here? What am I trying to create for myself and for others with this act? And the answer to that, well, that changes everything.